Martin Odegaard and Martinelli starting versus Leeds. Welcome back to your boys channel, welcome back to some Arsenal news today. As we shall discuss Martin Odegaard potentially starting as well as Gabriel Martinelli. We shall also be getting an update on Thomas Partey and Kieran Tierney. And who was the player that Arsenal could have signed before Martin Odegaard? Let's get into today's video. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is 14 and welcome back to your boys channel. Before we get to the video, make sure to go down there and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, much appreciation my guys. And without any further ado, let's get into today's video and some cheeky little Arsenal news today. Can I get it? Here we go. First thing in discussion is Arsenal versus Leeds team news. Now let's just say we have some positives and we have some negatives, so let's get into it. Starting off with the positives, the Express are claiming that Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has the perfect opportunity to start Martin Odegaard versus Leeds United. And to be honest, with Arsenal playing Benfica on the Thursday, that's a massive game. I do expect Arteta to play Odegaard in this game, especially with the amount of minutes and games that Emile Smith-Rowe has started. And ultimately we did sign Martin Odegaard to start him in games and not coming off the bench, because that's what he was doing at Real Madrid. So I fully believe Martin Odegaard will start this game. And ultimately what we could have now is a battle for the Arsenal number 10 position between Emile Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard. And in terms of Smith-Rowe, as much as I love him, in the past few games his performances have just dropped off a little bit, and you can see he's kind of struggling with the amount of games he's played. So for a man like Martin Odegaard, it is time to shine, it is time to take over. And do you deserve an Arsenal first team selection? We're gonna have to wait and see. But talking about Arsenal signings in January, Fabrizio Romano has claimed that Arsenal was seriously trying to sign Riqui Puig on loan with a buy option in a similar deal as Odegaard. Barcelona said, let's see with Coleman if he wants to keep the player, let's wait some weeks. Then in the middle of January, they said Riqui Puig is not moving. Now what Riqui Puig is, of course, is an attacking midfielder, and he's been compared to Andreas Iniesta, of course coming through the Barcelona academy. And I kind of have discussed him in the past on a low-key manner on this channel, but ultimately we signed Odegaard. But could we go back into this and revisit Riqui Puig in the summer? We're gonna have to wait and see. Back to the game against Leeds, another player that could be potentially starting is Gabriel Martinelli. Now once again, in my opinion, with Arteta resting these players, I do personally believe we're gonna see a man like Pele's godson starting this game. So with that not being a question for me, what is gonna be a question for Mikel Arteta is, where do you start Martinelli? As that left winger like you normally do, or as a potential centre forward? Because the last game he started was against Man United as a left winger, got subbed off at halftime for tactical reasons, and I just think because he wasn't doing the pressing on the left hand side the way Arteta wants it. Whereas down the middle he can run around, he can press, whereas on the left hand side you have to be a bit more tactical, you have to stand different parts of the pitch, and maybe his immaturity kind of showed in that game. But let's see if Mikel Arteta can unleash his secret plan of playing Gabriel Martinelli down the middle. That is something that I would love to see. Let me know your own thoughts in the comments below on Gabriel Martinelli, and where would you like to see him start. Now let's move on to the negative news, because you know this is pretty damning. As Mikel Arteta in his press conference today has said, in terms of Thomas Partey, injury initially not too bad, but scan has showed its worst. He's devastated. And in terms of Kieran Tierney, he has a knee injury. We'll see how the knee reacts when he starts getting more load. Just as things were starting to be positive, just as we were about to get a fully fit squad, what's going on? Man like Chris Wheatley is here saying Thomas Partey will rest and rehab for close to 2 weeks before returning to the team, likely to miss Benfica match, but Arsenal are hopeful he will be back sooner. Now of course, with this being a hamstring injury, Arsenal have had this in the past this season, and one example is Rob Holding, who came back a lot earlier than expected. So Arsenal have a history of getting players back sooner. But we then also have man like Kieran Tierney, but this one here is a bit more interesting, because as I said here, the Arsenal website lists Tierney's current injury as a strain on the lower right leg, but speaking in the morning press conference, Arteta states a problem is with his knee. We're gonna have to wait and see how he reacts when he starts to get a bit more load. So is it a strain in the muscles, or is it a knee injury? Can someone let me know? But Mikel Arteta has also said that he's feeling in a much better place now. In the last few days he's feeling better, he's training, he's positive, he's willing to come back early and help the team, and hopefully we can get him soon. Now that's something I don't really want to hear, in terms of if he's not fully fit, why would you play him? I won't risk him getting another injury. But while they might be out for the game against Leeds on a Sunday, just don't be surprised with both being kind of close there and thereabouts if they turn up out of nowhere against Benfica on the Thursday. Just don't be surprised, I told you here first. Are we hearing Mikel Arteta mind games? I don't know. I'm just hoping for the best, lads. That's all it is. But as it's stated here, Partey and Tierney are so important. We need our key players playing together regularly. That's not happening this season. Take Tierney and Partey for example. They've both started only 5 out of 23 league games so far. The depth in left back centre field is not good enough to cope in their absence. And when you don't have those two players, you lose the presence and you lose the balance, and that's something you hate to see. Also, in terms of other Arsenal team news, Bernd Leno and David Luiz are back available for selection as well. And in terms of those two players, I know Leno's going to stop, but does David Luiz walk back into this team? Do you stop Pablo Mari, Gabriel Magalhaes, Rob Holding as he get rested? We're going to have to wait and see. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Moving on, lads, let's discuss the predicted lineup for the game. Now, this is a very difficult game because Arsenal right now in the league are in abyss, bottom half, 11th in the table, and look, we need to climb the table, but the Europa League is clearly more important. So the questions for Mikel Arteta is, how many players do you rest, and are you going to rest players in the first place? We already know that Thomas Partey and KT, Tesco's finest, Tierney's out of the game, but what do you do with players like Bukayo Saka? Do you rest him as well, because he's had some low-key knocks as well? And also, what do you do with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, because surely with him being back fully available, you start him in this game? But saying that, in the games that he's come off the bench, the Donny needs to do more. I know you're my captain, Pierre, but I just don't see anything going forward in terms of movement or pressing or a desire to make things happen. And so most certainly in the case of Aubameyang, the pressure is on. Can you handle it? Because right now you ain't been performing, and if you can come back fully fit and firing, it will be a massive benefit for Arsenal, and we could see some beautiful scenes. And also in terms of Dani Ceballos, surely with Partey out, he walks straight into the team, because yes, I know Arteta likes Mohamed Elneny, but come on now, Ceballos is the superior player, and we all know that. But here is the lineup I have gone for, with Leno in goal, Bellerin, Luiz, Gabriel and Cedric as the back four, Xhaka and Ceballos as the midfield pivot, Odegaard, Pepe and Aubameyang, and then Martinelli down the middle. I know that last thing's a bit mad, but I want to see this game used as a bit of a low-key experiment to play Martinelli down the middle, because while Aubameyang has been lacking in that position, at least I know with Pele's godson, the movements there and the pressing and the desire to make things happen are there as well. So that's something I would like to see. Also in terms of the centre-backs, what do Arsenal do? Surely we rest Rob Holding, but do we play David Luiz, Gabriel Magalhaes or even Pablo Mari? Lads, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're down there, also let me know your predictions for the game and your own predicted lineups. Let's move on to the next topic, and that is to some other Arsenal news. Right, first thing in discussion is following Balogun and Mikel Arteta. What has he had to say about man like Fullerene? As when Arteta was asked about Balogun and will he leave at the end of the season, he said, no, I'm still very positive that Flo is going to stay with us, and that is what we are trying to do as a club, and it's what I am trying to do as a manager. As far as I know from last week, the player wants to be here. So Arteta is positive, the positive vibes are there, and I think, and I low-key kind of said this in the past, I expect Balogun to stay, and I think all this right now is negotiation ploys of who gets the most money, and you know, just they want someone to flinch first, and I think in this case we're going to see Balogun stay. And then when you add that to Nketiah's contract running out very soon as well, I think he's going to leave the club in the summer, and we're going to get a very decent fee for a man like Eddie. Also on some more other and also some other positive news, William Saliba, he's back in full action. As his first game since the whole incident and the fiasco online, Saliba put 1 clearance, 1 block shot, 1 interception, 0 times dribble pass, 2 ground duels won, 2 aerial duels won, 2 successful dribbles, and through to the next round as well. A very focused performance, and that is something that you love to see. With all that has been said online in the past few days, it is good to see a focused performance and a Saliba who is drilled and ready to play for Nice and come back to Arsenal as a better and a stronger player. And moving on, lads, Joe Willock has been speaking as well. What is he saying? Well, he has said, I am here to prove Newcastle that I can play every week in fit games and win games for them. I am not really looking at Arsenal. When the time comes for me to make a decision to go back or not, that will come, but right now I am focused on Newcastle. Now that there does not sound like a player who wants to come back to Arsenal, because if you look at Arsenal's loanies right now in Dani Ceballos, he's always said he wants to go back to Real Madrid, and I think what Willock is saying to Arsenal is, if you're not going to play me, I am going to move on, and a club like Newcastle, Premier League clubs may be interested as long as I can show that I am at this level. But let me know your own thoughts in the comments below. What would you do with Joe Willock, and would you keep him or would you sell him in the summer, and if so, what club do you want to sell him to? But there you man go, that has been the latest Arsenal news today. Leeds United next, it's a big game, it's gargantuan, we're going to have to see what Arsenal do. But of course, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to go down there and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know your thoughts on all things that I've discussed. If you could also follow my social social media. The links are in the description below and that will be appreciated. But there you guys go, the latest Arsenal news today. 2021 business, match day coming soon. We're back again. We need to make up for the last 2 defeats. Hopefully Arsenal can secure the dub and climb back into the top half. I will see you soon.